Okay, so repeat after me. God, you said that I've been made in your image and in your likeness. You said that I am the healed of God, resisting sickness and disease. Jesus bore my sickness, weakness, and pain, and I am free. So that is a confession that I created during a leading ladies meeting that I had at my church, Great Faith Church of Sanford, Florida. Our leading lady, Lady Angela Lagan, helped us create confessions for certain areas in our lives that we needed to speak life into. So a couple of months before the meeting, I believe we went to the doctor to confirm our second pregnancy for our second child, and the doctor's reports came back less than positive. Now, with my daughter, I did have some complications with that pregnancy, and I was told basically what you don't want to hear, that my body apparently wasn't able to carry a child full term without complications. I did have preterm labor with her. I was placed on bed rest. Thankfully, we were able to get to her due date, and she was born a healthy, beautiful baby girl. However, the second time around, when I went to the doctor, just to do the typical weekly, monthly appointments, they stated to me that there would be some precautions we would need to take this time around in order for me to carry full term without any bed rest or any preterm labor. So it was definitely something that was on my heart. I'm not a person who likes to dwell on the negative. My husband isn't either. In the previous video, I even stated that, when we would receive these reports, he would never, acknowledge them. We would never have a conversation about them. And I think that both of us consider that unnecessary. We're both faith-filled individuals, and so we just decided within ourselves, without even having to have a conversation about it, that we would confess what we believe. And what we believe is that there is no such thing as God creating a woman who is able to sustain life, because he's made us in his image and in his likeness, for us to consider that that's not true because of a doctor's report. So with that being said, once we received the report, we just started to confess. And my confessions are not super eloquent all the time. I did create that confession when we were in the circle of the leading ladies, and I don't even know if I memorized it in that way. I just remember that whenever I would have a moment of doubt, concern, worry, or fear, I would just recite what I knew to be true. So I'm not a Bible scholar. I can't spit out scriptures like my pastor can, but I know enough to know what the truth is. And so I would recite what I would remember or what I could at that moment. So there were plenty of times that I would say, I am the healed of God, resisting sickness and disease, whenever I felt, a shudder of hopelessness. And so that is what I would say for my young, fabulous ladies out there that, have a doctor's report that you receive that's less than, accurate. A doctor's report that tells you something that is not to be true. Just speak life into the situation. I know that it sounds so cliche. I know that it sounds easier said than done, but the truth of the matter is that is what sustains me throughout every area of my life. There are so many times that I get asked, or that I was asked during my pregnancy, how do you do it? How do you get dressed up, and how do you do your hair and your makeup? Little trivial things that don't really matter. But I would be asked those questions because apparently I was carrying myself in a manner that a lot of people were not accustomed to. Unfortunately, there are women out there who don't have either the means to keep up with themselves, or they don't care to keep up with themselves because of the way that they're feeling. And I'm not a person who is run by my emotions. I used to be, but I've learned that as you mature and as you grow and as you consider the truth about your situation, you know that your emotions are not the end all be all. with a woman, me as a woman talking to you right now, I can tell you that I go through probably a million emotions in one day. So how would I allow my flighty emotions to determine and dictate my day or my outlook on life? So I refuse. I have another confession that I usually do say, whether I am cognizant of it or not, that I say I'm in complete control of my emotions. My emotions don't run me. And that's how I go about my day. So in the days and in the mornings that I did not feel like getting up and doing my hair and doing my makeup, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months pregnant, I am feeling large. There's no room to breathe. My organs are shifted. This baby's taking over. In those moments, I would just get up, push my emotions to the side, and just do what I know that I needed to do at that moment. And one thing that makes me feel good about myself is doing my hair. I have said it before, I've said it a million times. It's therapeutic. I love it. I take extra time to do it. Doing my makeup that day, I find it all to be something that's calming and relaxing for me. So that's why I did it when I was pregnant, and I continue to do it till this day. Again, I don't believe that we as women who juggle so many things should be less than fabulous. Just because you have a lot going on does not mean that you just let everything else fall to the wayside. If Beyonce can do it, I can do it. I don't need Beyonce money to be able to be fabulous. I'm just saying.